up, traders? How you doing, friends? Wanted to go over what I am looking at for April 15th. It's tax day. Let's talk about the stock market. I trade 30 minutes a day. The stock market is my main source of income, and I've been doing this a while. I just wanted to share some of my thoughts because we had a lot of news over the weekend that I think can really get to a trader. So the first thing I want to do is I want to talk about hiding your profit and loss on your account. Tasty Trade makes it really easy. You just hit this button and you no longer see it, right? We're not going to talk about my put that's in the money here on Robinhood. That's a different story, different day. Let's take a look over at Thinkorswim. It's the same principle, right? I hide my profit and loss. I don't want to be focused on how much money I'm losing, how much money I'm making. What I want to be focused and what you should be focused on is your trading plan. Trading, it's all about emotions. And if you focus on how much money you're making or how much money you're losing, the stock market's down 300 points, my account's down $200, my account's down $2,000, my account's down $20,000, it's irrelevant. Stop focusing on your profits and your losses. Start focusing on trading your plan. I know this sounds crazy. It sounds different than what you hear from all other groups. I promise you, this will make a huge difference in your trading account. It'll make a huge difference in how you feel and how you trade. Block out the noise, ignore the profit and loss. Your account's drawdowns are normal. That's part of trading. Have a plan for up, down, sideways, doesn't matter. Trade your plan. Get rid of the emotions. You're going to have a better time trading. You're going to be more successful at the same time. The next thing I do is I look at the economic calendar. So let's pop over and see what we have coming up this week. On Monday, we have looks like some retail sales coming out. We have Jay Powell speaking on Tuesday. That's going to be very interesting, right? We have some crude inventories coming out on Wednesday and some jobless claims on Thursday. So for me, I just want to know what's going on in the market. Looks like we have Jay talking on Tuesday. What's he going to do? I don't know. I'm just going to make sure that I'm aware of what's happening. I don't necessarily day trade, but I want to know what's out there, what can spook the market, and I think Jay could actually be probably our biggest event for this week. See if we can get through these as fast as possible. You're busy, I'm busy, I know it. You can't start without looking at SPY, right? We had a really this Thursday bearish engulfing candle is a big deal. We've been kind of range bound. We finally broke below on Friday, and there still is some uncertainty. We have wicks, this is kind of a doji. It is still closing below. We're closing, still looking a little bit bearish. I would love to see a pullback. Are we going to get one? No idea. I wanted to take a look at healthcare, and let's pop out to the weekly candle real quick, and let's just take a look at what's going on with healthcare. We had 2 weeks of really a lot of selling. You can see the volume, pretty good selling here. I am looking to get back into XLV. I like to trade XLV. Has some decent premium. It's not great, but I would love to get down around the blue line, obviously, right? I don't know what's going to happen. I want to look here at the moving averages. A lot of my analysis is going to be based on moving averages, but possible double top here, looking a little bearish. I see that we have the 50 over there on the weekly. We have closed below the blue line, and the blue line's the moving average of the 100. So this is the 100 moving average. We're closing below. I'd love to see this continue to be a little bit bearish, but there is some support here. Could we bounce here? Absolutely. I am looking to pick up some healthcare. I would love to see how we interact with the 50 and target the blue line. Could we go all the way down to the 200? Yes. I would be willing to own some XLV here. Take a look over J&J. We have earnings this week, so we have several earnings coming up this week, but J&J is really getting sold pretty hard. I want to see how this works. I think it's on Tuesday, right? Yeah, we have earnings on Tuesday. I want to see what happens with J&J. Look at this really big selling that we have. ABC correction coming up. Is it about to bounce? It seems like it could. It's a binary event with earnings. You just never really know, right? I'm going to go ahead and move up to UNH as well because UNH has earnings as well, and they've had some issues with cybersecurity, right? As you see, like they blew right through the 100. They're already looking at the 200 on the weekly. This is the weekly chart, right? This goes back a long way. I don't know the last time we've seen UNH hit this back in COVID, right? So the last time we've actually seen UNH this low was in COVID. I think they have some pretty big concerns with the cyber attack that they had. They're going to be taking some charges. We took a short on this one. did really good on it. I expected to have to hold it to earnings, and it really hit its target way sooner. This looks really bearish to me. I'm not trading it now. I'm not shorting it here. I think it could keep going. I'm going to wait for a bounce. Like, this is one of my favorite stocks. I love UNH. There's a lot of premium on it, but it's not the time to get in now for me, at least. Cardinal Health, also, this is going to be kind of a bearish day for me, guys. Cardinal Health closing below the 100, right? There's the 200 on the daily. Are we going to bounce? It doesn't really look like it to me. There is support here. You know, can we come down to just here and bounce? Maybe. You look at the weekly, it's the same thing. You know, we hit the moving average, we close below it. That's bearish in my mind. If we bounce there and we closed above it, that would be good. But you can see where I would be, you know, looking, how are we going to interact right here with the 50 on the weekly? If we get that far, right? I mean, this would be the decision where I decide, am I going to get in Cardinal Health or not? I like this. This is a really good dividend stock. I traded a lot. Pays a nice dividend. You can see I got out here for a nice win. But just kind of looking here, I want to see how it's going to interact with moving averages. Southwest, already in this one short. It broke below all the support. I don't know if it's going to work. It's working right now. I'm already up a little bit. Looks like an ABC wave correction to me. You know, never know, right? But I like this trade. You can see why I'm in it. I'm in it because it broke below the support. I had the short set up. It retested a little bit. I didn't panic. Stayed in my short. I'm still short on this one. Could it bounce and hit these moving averages? Absolutely. I think Southwest still looks like a short. Crocs is, I don't know. This is one of my favorite stocks in terms of premium because there's so much premium in this stock, right? But I will tell you, same kind of thing here. I'm hoping this is a wave 4 correction. This is what I've drawn on here on my chart. But this looks a little weak. I mean, is this going to be a possible double bottom? Are we going to bounce out of here? That is the question. I think we need to see how we interact with the moving average. See how we're bouncing off the 50? As long as we go below it, we bounce off of it. Right here is really close. So if we get a close below the 50, I could totally make the case and understand why you would short this stock. I have a position on this one where I will benefit if it pulls back a little bit, and I have some short puts to where I will take shares of this company. It's a pretty profitable company. It's a pretty good valuation as well. So let's take a look at Crocs. You know, it could go either way. I really could see the case for bear or bull here. Let's see how it interacts with the 50 next week. Another boring stock. Boring stocks are just my jam. As somebody who trades the market all the time, I don't have to be in the most exciting stocks. Colgate-Palmolive, can't even say the name, but looks a little bearish to me. You see, we closed below the 50. We tried to bounce off the 50. It couldn't even make it. Got a shooting star here. I would be targeting this area. Like, we have a moving average. This looks like a short. And I'll probably be setting this up in our Discord at Good Kids Trading on Monday. Win's a little interesting, right? When you look at the weekly on Win, it looks horrible, right? It looks really bad, but it did bounce right off of the 10 EMA. And it's closing, I don't know, above, below, questionable. This looks like it could be a double top forming. We did make a higher high though, so that's something to keep in mind. But too many moving averages here for me to take this, to be honest with you. But I was watching this just for like a really quick short if there wasn't all of this support here. And we do have you do have slightly, well, I was gonna say we do have slightly higher highs, but higher lows, but it's pretty close, right? I just think this is something to watch. It's very interesting. Cisco, not the chip company, but the food company. We were looking at taking this one bullish, and we got a candle like this right here that just took out everything. I think this was on Thursday with the rest of the market. Tried to bounce off. It tried to bounce off the 100. It just didn't make it, and it's closing below. So there is some support here. When you look out on the weekly, it looks even worse. But you do have some support here. Let's see what happens. I want to see how Cisco interacts here. This is one of my favorite stocks to trade longer term. Nice dividend, just consistent. We know how they make money. They supply food to restaurants. And, could there be a slowdown in restaurants? Absolutely. Looking to buy Cisco a little bit lower. Hasbro, I love this candle, and I want you to start looking for this. Do you see how Hasbro is kind of bouncing in between moving averages, right? This is inside of this big, I don't want to call that a hammer, but it's sort of a hammer. It's bouncing inside. So if it wasn't such a huge candle here, I would really be paying a little bit more attention to this, especially to the upside, if it could break above, because we have these moving averages right here that would act as, if we tried to short it, we have a moving average here, here, and here. We have some support. So I'm watching anytime I see a chart where you start getting some compression in between moving averages. Let's just keep an eye on this one. Let's see if we start getting a couple more inside days, building up to some compression, and can we get one more pop higher? Or is this going to try to be some type of head and shoulders? I like the way it's bouncing in between the two. So I wanted to bring that up. Be on the lookout for that. This is a kind of another boring company. I know I say that a lot, but Brown & Brown pays a really good dividend. This still looks bearish to me as well. I know I'm just like ultra bear today, but we do have a moving average. I think you could actually try to catch this one short if you needed some more bearish delta in your portfolio. Just a tiny bit of support here. You would still be profitable even if you took a partial there, right? And you could target down in this area, head for that. I hate to say it, head for that 100 moving average. Kraft Heinz, I didn't know what was going on. I started getting really nervous in this run up because like, what is going on? We had a nice double bottom. We did a little retest right here and then we just took off, right? And I was like, well, if everybody needs catch up, then something's going on with the market. But luckily we pulled back. We are sitting right on the 100 again, right? And I think this looks bearish to me. I look at the weekly chart. We have lower highs, but we have too many moving averages for me to take this one. I do like this evening star-ish reversal. It's not a perfect evening star, but this is a little bit reassuring to me. I was wondering if we were having like a catch-up shortage. I didn't know what was happening. That was slightly concerning when we just had such a big move in Kraft Heinz. So I'm actually glad to see this retest, and can we make like a little S-curve right out of here and come back up? Absolutely. I think that eventually people are going to start looking into dividend plays when interest rates start getting cut. So I want to keep my eye on these companies that pay dividends. Kraft Heinz paid 40 cents. It's a $36 stock, so that's over 1%. That's nothing to bat an eye at. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is pretty good. The only stock that I'm slightly bullish on and not really all that bullish on is Coca-Cola, right? We've been in this range for, I don't know, like since December. We've just kind of been chopping higher. We finally broke below in Coke. And Coca-Cola is another really good dividend stock. Do you see what I'm aiming for? I'm looking for stocks that pay dividends as interest rates get cut. I think this is where some of the safer income money will come from. So taking a look at this one, if you want to buy low, this might be a company you look to sell puts in. There's not a ton of premium in selling puts on Coke. But if you can get anything around in the 55 area, I'm all for that. Let's see what happens here. We have broken below the trend. You want to see Coca-Cola regain this trend really quick. So this is a name that I am looking at a little bit more on the bullish side. I know all these other ones have been bearish trades. The last stock I'm going right back to being a bear again is AT&T. And like, to be honest with you, I was in AT&T back when they cut the dividend and they were no longer a dividend aristocrat. So like this one always has a bad taste in my mouth, and I probably always see it more bearish than it is. I'll just be honest about that. But we have closes below the 100 again. Here I am talking about moving averages for my last stock as well. We have closes below. I wouldn't short this one just because we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bearish candles in a row. What I would love to see is we get something like a candle that comes in like this and hits these moving averages, rejects immediately off of this. I would look to short AT&T right here and see if we can get another quick rollover. I have purple lines on my charts. It just is for weekly and monthly support. So this would be my target. I would short it here, look for a quick out. Stop would be up here, and I would get out of this one really quick. So that's what I'm looking at for this week. I hope this is helpful for you. We'll catch you later at goodkidstrading.com. Have a look. Check out our blog, check out our Discord. See you next time.